Everyone is aware of the term global warming, but do you truly understand what it is? Global warming is gradual warming of Earth due to natural and artificial sources such as burning of fossil fuels and deforestation. Surprisingly, temperature changes aren't the most severe effect of changing climate. Other factors like precipitation patterns and sea levels have a more significant impact on humans. Global warming is just one of many measures of climate change. Despite disbelievers, only 0.01% of scientists did not agree with global warming. There is undeniable proof of global climate change. Throughout history, global warming and climate change has been a natural part of the geographical process. However, humans have contributed greatly to global warming through the production of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases since the start of the Industrial Revolution. The greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring cycle that allows life to thrive on Earth. When sun's radiation reaches the Earth, some of it is reflected by its atmosphere. However, the rest is absorbed by the Earth's lands and oceans. The absorbed radiation is slowly emitted back into the atmosphere. As the heat is leaving the atmosphere, concentrations of greenhouse gases act as a barrier and prevent some of the heat from escaping, leading to the warming of the Earth. The oceans on Earth also act as a carbon sink, meaning that the oceans are capable of storing immense amounts of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas. When the sun hits the polar ice caps, the radiation is not absorbed but rather reflected. The color white has a very high albedo, meaning that it can reflect a lot of light. The albedo effect counters global warming. Oceans are the planet's largest carbon sink, meaning they are the primary area to store carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. But it seems that the seas have already reached their sustainable limit of carbon dioxide, as further carbon dioxide will lead to acidification of the oceans, which will have dire consequences. The fate of all sea creatures depends on what happens in the CO2 levels in the present and into the future. A worst case scenario is the extinction of countless animals.
Over millions of years, those trees pulled the carbon out of the air to grow. And when they died, much of that carbon got buried underground.
Processed treated coal and other fossil fuels which we use to meet our ever-increasing energy demands. 1 gallon of fuel contains 100 tons of ancient plants, which is why we call gas and oil fossil fuels. With the start of the industrial era, the coal and oil was dug up and burned as a fuel. Burning anything releases carbon dioxide, but burning carbon releases significantly more carbon dioxide. By releasing ancient carbon back into the environment, carbon combines with oxygen in the atmosphere, and it acts like a blanket, trapping heat in the atmosphere.
This NASA map shows global temperatures rising over the last century.
Impacts of global warming can be analyzed through environmental, cultural, and social factors. Global warming has had and will continue to have a tremendous impact on environments of countries around the world. Every year, records are being broken for the hottest temperature or most precipitation. New threats pose dangers to various regions around the world. Storms are getting stronger, droughts are getting drier, and wildfires are burning brighter. Sea levels are slated to rise 1 to 2 meters over the next century. Coastal areas are especially vulnerable due to their proximity with the ocean. Individuals would have to relocate their life and homes to higher ground in order to survive. At this point, the exact amount of sea level increase is still unpredictable due to the unstable nature of glaciers and icebergs around the world. Since the earliest 20th century, glaciers have been retreating at an unprecedented pace. In fact, several glaciers have already disappeared altogether from the face of the earth, like Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, leaving those who utilize glaciers for water high and dry. Global warming also increases the severity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, droughts, floods, and wildfires. The hotter ocean waters will result in more potential energy for hurricanes to gain strength. Droughts will become longer and drier as weather patterns change around the world. Floods will increase in size as warmer climates are able to contain more moisture than cooler climates. Wildfires will burn as global warming results in more and more heat waves. Under hot and dry conditions, it is really easy to start a fire. Global warming has had and is having a significant impact on cultures that thrive in certain environments. Global climate changes will cause culture groups to alter their way of life in order to adapt. The Inuit people of northern Canada rely on the ice to hunt the animals that they require for food, shelter, and fuel. But due to the lack of ice year-round, the Inuit are finding it difficult to continue their culture and way of life. The ice conditions are making it more dangerous and less productive to hunt animals on. Global warming may lead to the eventual extinction of the Inuit culture.
Inuki Adami of Iqaluit says he wonders if his world has shifted or tilted north.
Polynesian Islands are a group of islands in the Pacific that are forecast to be submerged underwater in the next 50 to 100 years, yet most of the island's residents refuse to leave their homes. The native culture holds people together, and people's attachment to the only home they've known prevent their departure. Culture has powerful effect on people. Action on global warming, or lack thereof, has resulted in socio-political impact on the world. The world will soon be facing both a water and food shortage, putting further strain on politicians to take action to solve the problem of global warming. Glaciers and snow that provide water to millions of people are melting, foreshadowing water shortages in the future. Water is tied to other resources such as food supply, health, and transportation. With water being so vital to our own survival, it is imperative to preserve our water and use it at a sustainable rate. Global warming has led to worldwide food shortages, as rising temperatures shorten the growing season in the tropical regions. Add in the increased possibility of droughts, and we have a recipe for a massive food shortage in the making. Crops in tropical regions are less able to adapt to climate change, meaning a drop in crop yield will have to feed more people as the global population increases. The pollination of crops by bees has declined significantly over the years, affecting the quality of crops and its ability to grow. Crime already occurs in today's society. Imagine what it would look like if food meant stealing. Crime will increase exponentially, as due to the food and water shortages, people will be desperate in order to get food. People will be willing to steal, barter, and even murder others just for some food and water. Governments will be inundated with things to do, and some will delve into chaos. The gap between rich and poor will widen, leading to more crime. Riots will occur as citizens are unpleased with the government and angry over the lack of food, water, and shelter. Governments will also be more prone to political instability as the society collapses, and soon lawlessness will take over. As temperatures rise, diseases will spread from tropical to more temperate areas. Diseases are spread through wet and dense populations the most effectively, meaning that because of global warming, diseases will occur more often and it will be more fatal.